So welcome to the University of Cambridge and to the Center for Research in Art, Social Sciences, and Humanities. Thanks for hosting this hybrid event, which is going to be unique in multiple different ways. Also thanking the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council of Canada for funding this event. Thank you, Nikki Davidovsky, so much for your support and hospitality and making this happen despite all of these pre-production challenges, COVID especially. We're part of the CRASSH 20th anniversary program, and we're really delighted to be engaging in these festivities. To introduce you a little bit to the event, the medical humanities is a field as diverse as CRASSH, representing the arts like literature, theater, performance, fine arts, film, social sciences, sociology of health and disease, anthropology of medicine, the biopsychosocial model, social determinants of health, health geography, and the humanities, which can include bioethics, history of medicine, philosophy of medicine, comparative literature, spiritualism and healing, and so many others. The interdisciplinary strength of this field is its ability to imagine otherwise, to view and analyze medical practice, its knowledge and beliefs and experiences of health or illness from perspectives beyond the imperialism of biomedicine in our daily lives. While some of the uses of medical humanities have been instrumental in their appropriation of the tools, methods, and ideas of outside disciplines to improve medical education or healthcare, the medical humanities also offer the critical and political promise of including otherwise marginalized voices and practices in medicine, of interrupting hegemonic approaches that may not be hospitable to dysphonic or dysphoric.
The tensions between objectivity and subjectivity that stem from the shift of the scientific method in medicine in the 19th century onwards continues to haunt us, in that it shapes how we perceive or accept the porosity between different frameworks, spaces, abilities, subjectivities, systems, between each field of expertise. If a total disavowal of the legitimacy of this field is certainly not our intention, we cannot help trying to survive our contemporary globalized world, where medicine has been organized and reorganized accordingly, both consciously and unwittingly. As lines between disciplines have moved, settled, and colonized, so too have the health sciences and practices. Our health, our discourse, our knowledge, artistic practices, our health systems may appear natural to us or as natural to us, but their naturalization is tied to the globalizing and organizing currents that insert themselves therein. This terrain of struggle, of movement, of practice requires cross-disciplinary conversation and analysis. To fully understand how medicine and the medical humanities coalesce, conjunct, and construct one another, we propose a series of 4 themes. So these 4 themes are aligned to the concept of the middle. The middle, the milieu, to try to translate an idiomatic expression that sort of lies outside of translation, stems from obviously the Deleuzian conception of the milieu, is that it calls itself outside of an origin and that it is centrally or panoptically surveyed to refer to the Foucauldian concept. This conference, and more personally, our willingness, Ariane and I, and desire to come together as scholars and artists, but also more inclusively to include all of our speakers and participants who are not only scholars and artists, but also scholar artists, stem from our warrior-like refusal to commit to one definitive point of observation that would have the power to guarantee a way forward, a reassuring truth. At best, our willingness to cross paths stems from the idea that there are always more flows crossing or fleeing our fields, our practices, in what is already an overcrowded field, in what is already a misunderstanding about the humanities and the social sciences, what they can do or how they can say, what they would like to say or can't say about medicine. I'll let you continue.
Yeah, great. So the events and participants will engage in this kind of hybrid format, some in person, some online. And there are a number of different themes as well as keynotes, which we hope you will join us for. The 4 themes that organize our panels in particular are thinking about like what and who counts. How can different questions be counted within and without, with limits, without limits, within boundaries, without boundaries. The first, starting tomorrow, is mobilities of health, and then followed by spaces of care or caring spaces. And of course, a keynote by Sasha Turner tomorrow evening. The next day, we have a keynote with Sander Gilman, followed by a conversation of medicine and humanities, but kind of how they are out of place, how they may be clandestine, subterranean spheres, and finally considering the role of access and limits in thinking about the medical humanities. So I think we must learn how to read this messiness that's ours, and we believe that this conference may be one of the ways that we can encounter these spaces and these times of the middle, the milieu.